I'm back with another Cummins video. So this time I'm going to be installing some 6x9s on the doors. But I already did the other side, but I realized when you go to install it, this just ain't gonna cut it. It's too small. So this is just mostly gonna be a video on how to cut this right here. Not really the wiring, because that's just gonna be a whole another video. I mean, I literally need the wire on this ain't too bad, but I'll probably just replace the whole thing eventually. But this time, we're just gonna be making this bigger and fit in the Rockford false gates. But I was looking for a little scraper, and I don't have one. I don't have a little scraper. I couldn't find it. But I got these. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hold this like this. Hopefully that'll work. So the next step, we're gonna make a template so we can mark the area that we want to cut. So normally these speakers would come with one, but this one didn't. So I'm using the actual foam they came with. So what I'm gonna do is cut this out. Now you wanna be careful. You don't wanna slice yourself. So here we have the Rockford. So beautiful. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to line this up right here. I'm gonna try to line it up right like in the middle. Get this as nice and even. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. Then I'm gonna take my marker. The hell it came out. And I'm gonna mark these holes right here. Oh, got another marker. I'll mark. Can't even get down there. That didn't work out how I thought it was gonna work out. Now let me make sure this hasn't moved yet. Just a little bit. There we go. It doesn't have to be perfect, but this is still not long enough. There we go. So the reason for these holes, so the reason I marked this, right? So that's what I'm going to do now. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these 4 nails. You can take anything. Put them right through here, just like this. Now, if you're able to get a template, like a little cardboard template, or you can make one or whatever, you can probably just tape it up. But for me, since I'm trying to use these holes, this method kind of worked for me on the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line these holes up. Look at that. Perfect. So now I'm going to take my white marker. This white marker. Now, doesn't want to work. We want to take this black marker. That works much better. We're just gonna draw a line on the outside of this. Perfect. Perfect right there. OMG. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? So that's what we're gonna be working with. Now, before we make any cuts, see if we need to make any adjustments. So I like how close this one is to that hole, but we'll make it work. So now that we're done with that, and remember, man, put your tools away as you're finishing them up with them, okay? So now, the way we're gonna cut this, I have various tools that I can cut this with, but the easiest way to cut it is always the simplest way. We're gonna bring out the trusty Wiss metal cutters. So we're gonna go with the red ones. We're gonna cut it with these snips. We're gonna start down here and then slowly but surely work our way around. So now we're done with the snips. On the other side, I use both, but that just goes to show you don't really need a green pair and a red pair. So we're gonna put them away because I'm gonna need them for work tomorrow. So now we're gonna test fit it before we go any farther. Now, seems like, I don't know if the door's just bending or seems like, I see I need to take off a little bit from right here. So we are gonna use the green ones after all. See, and this is where I started going towards the inside. So if I would have stuck to the outside, I would have had it the first try. But don't worry, you always want to cut less than cut more. You can always come back and keep cutting. Everything has a solution except death. Remember that. A wise old man once told me that. Everything in life has a solution. If you guys can think of anything else that doesn't have a solution in life, let me know. That's perfect right there. Fucking perfect. So next little step I'm gonna do here, it's not necessary, but I recommend it. You know, I stopped at a Harbor and Freight and got this sanding drum kit for like $7. I have. Now normally, what I used to do, I used to just wrap a regular sander around like something circular and put it on here, but I'm like $7. Man, I can get $7 use out of it. Better. So now we're not gonna need this tool no more. We're gonna, well, we might. We're gonna leave that out. But we're gonna put this right back where I got it from. And anyways, I was looking through some things earlier in the garage, and I was looking for some tape, some electrical tape. I couldn't find it. But anyways, I went in there and I ended up finding the scraper. Does that ever happen to you guys? You go look for something, don't find it. You find a substitute for it, and you end up going back to look for something else, and you find the first item after you don't need it no more. You just find it laying there where you left it off last time, but you couldn't remember one bit. There we go. There we go. Just move that center. Now, one last thing I'm going to do before I put this in here, I'm going to test it. Because the last thing you want to do is put all your screws in there. Last thing you want to do is put all your screws in there and hardware and have to pull it back out. Okay, it's working. On to the next step. On to the next step. I just need to go find a screwdriver real quick for this. And we're back. So I was using a set of Allen wrenches, but man, that was low-key stressing me out a little bit. Oops, dropped the knife. I want to pick that up. You don't want to get that stuck in your tire. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to put, and like I said, eventually I'll come back and clean all this up. Now, normally I wouldn't put this here because I'm going to put the door panels back on, but when am I going to do that? Am I going to do that the following week, tomorrow, later? I have no clue. I hit the other one earlier this morning by accident, so I'm not trying to have that with this one. Gotta get closer. Let me just cut this open a little bit more. Give it some room to go in the bag. There we go. Push these wires through. Push these wires through a little bit. And that, folks, is how you install some 6x9s. So final test. You ask yourself. So like I said, eventually that face cover is gonna come off. So this one I have it, but man, I had it earlier. Because I'm used to stepping out the truck and putting my foot down here from keeping that door from sliding back. So final test. Final test. Let's play one of these songs I've really been into lately. My girl put me onto this one. If it wasn't for her, I would have never heard it, but let's see. Let's see the other side. You're my diamond girl. Ooh, oh, diamond girl. Hey. You're my diamond girl. Mission. Ooh, oh, diamond girl. Mission accomplished, man. I'm very satisfied with these, but now the worst part of the installation is putting all the tools away. I hate it. But till next time, you guys be easy.